Fun. In Clown, we talk about the importance of having fun. But isn't fun for kids? Adult life is serious. We need to focus and get things done. There's no time for fun, unless it's scheduled, maybe at the weekends. But what if fun was something we could weave into our everyday life that wasn't so separated from serious things? Maybe having more fun can actually help us get serious things done.
Welcome to the Clown Spirit Podcast. And here's your clowntastic host, Mr. Barnaby King.
Hello. So good to have you here with me, Barnaby King, on the Clown Spirit Podcast. Now, you may well know that there's three types of podcasts we have here. There are interviews with people outside of the clown world. There are clownversations with the teachers and artists in the clown world. And then there's today's kind, which is just me rambling about something that interests me, and I really hope that it interests you too. Before I jump into this week's topic, which is fun, I also just want to let you know about a very fun event we have coming up here at Clown Spirit on April 10th to 13th. It's called Clown Virgins, not Clown Virgins. Clown Virgins. It's the convergence of clowns, the coming together. It's online, and it's going to be 3 and a bit days of wonderful clown events, workshops, panel discussions, provocations, play sessions, and more. We've got some amazing teachers from all over the world, some of the very best, some that you'll have heard of, some that you won't. It's a very broad spread of the clown community coming together to share and to really just raise the bar on getting clown out into the world, bringing their full energy and commitment to this wonderful mission that we have at Clown Spirit to unleash as many clowns into the world as possible. And boy, do we need that right now. So I hope you'll check it out at www.clown-spirit.com/clownvergence. There's a sliding scale for a voluntary donation there, so you don't even have to pay a penny if that is where you're at the moment. Money should not prevent anybody from taking part. So jump in, sign up, and we'll see you there April 10th to 13th. And now for this week's episode. I want to talk today about fun. What is fun? I don't think we stop and think about that very much, perhaps, but we talk about the importance of it all the time. We just want to have more fun in our lives. I want to bring more fun into my life. Let's have fun. Was that fun? Now, obviously, there's lots of different ways of thinking about fun. So many differing definitions because one person's fun is not another person's fun. In fact, if you think about it, it's an extremely subjective thing, extremely personal, individual to one's own tastes. I mean, some people's idea of fun is, I don't know, going to see a football game, or going hunting, or fishing, or jumping off a cliff and pulling a parachute at the last moment. People do all kinds of crazy things that seem to be fun for them. But none of those things I just listed would be fun for me, I think. So what is fun for me? Well, I don't know. I love going on boats. Being on boats is fun on the water. Or going out for dinner, going for a meal with friends, going to see a movie, traveling. I think of all those things as fun. But interestingly, those things that come to mind, they're a kind of diversionary fun, a kind of activity that just generically feels enjoyable, let's say. Enjoyable, maybe that's a good synonym for fun in this type of fun. Stuff that's enjoyable. And in fact, if you look at a definition of the word fun, that kind of fits. The first definition is enjoyment, amusement. We had fun at the beach is the example. And the second definition is a source of enjoyment, amusement, or pleasure. Was the party fun? And then the third one is sport, merriment, frolicsome amusement. So All these things are sort of obviously fun, things that we can just decide to do, and we often do. People do those, right, as diversionary activities to bring more fun into their lives. But I want to talk today about a different quality of fun. And if you look at the definition, there's something here that's actually really interesting, because it's also a verb. I never really thought of the word fun as a verb, but it's there if you look it up in the dictionary. To fun, which means to hold up to or turn into ridicule, to speak or act facetiously, to joke or fool, to tease or speak playfully to. Now that seems to me really quite different from the other kind of fun that we tend to use that word for. When we speak about clowning and bringing more clowning into our lives, the type of fun that's involved in clowning is a little different. Because, if we can just do those fun activities that we enjoy, going to a party, going out for a meal, going on boats, we can do those perfectly easily without, having to invest in clown workshops or think about bringing more clowning into our lives. But there's something different. There's a different type of fun when we speak about clowning as a source of fun. So that's what I want to explore today. What is this quality of fun that clowning brings? What does it look like in reality? And how can we get more of it if we want to? So I'm going to start by just talking about 3 examples from the past week when I've had this type of fun that I'm talking about. So example 1 was I was asked to give a talk in a conference. In fact, I wasn't asked. It was suggested to me, and then I decided to apply because I thought it would be a good opportunity to talk more about clowning, to bring more people into this clown world. The conference was called Fugitive Futures. It wasn't about clowning. It was about repairing our traumatic past, reckoning with the present, the moment, and imagining new possible futures and communal ways of being. It's a beautiful theme and a beautiful conference, and in some ways, very dark and very serious. And I wanted to inject some fun into that seriousness. Now, this is an impulse I have all the time. When I see something that seems too serious, I want to make fun of it. And I think this really goes down deep for me, because I'm a deeply serious person. In fact, if you know me well, you'll know that. And yet I've encountered so many difficulties and challenges from my serious nature. I suffer over things. It creates struggle, anxiety, difficulty. I get stuck sometimes in my own seriousness. I also don't want to disown it, because I see the benefits of seriousness. A lot of good things come from it. I take things seriously and life seriously, and I get things done. And that can lead to lots of really wonderful things happening. So I am grateful for my seriousness. It's a gift. But there's a dark side to it. I know it can lead to struggle and suffering. So for me, I've realized that I need more fun to offset that seriousness. But it's not just that type of fun that's like, just taking a vacation or going out to see a movie. Those types of fun that I talked about earlier, those more socially conventional types of fun that just would distract me from my seriousness. In a way, it's the type of fun I'm talking about is a type of fun that actually speaks to the seriousness. It's a kind of off-beam, maybe ironic, playful, teasing way to speak to and to address a serious theme. So it's not disconnected, it's not running away from the seriousness. It's more of an irreverent, maybe transgressive, surprising take on the seriousness. sort of hitting that seriousness in a different way that kind of shifts it and makes us see it in a different way or experience it differently. It feels transgressive, naughty, rule-breaking, fun. So, for this conference, I decided to create a small performance, a clown performance. Now, everyone else, of course, is just doing talks like you do at a conference. And then I pop up in my clown character, Professor Teddy Love, and he's confused. He doesn't know where he is. He can't see anybody. He's having struggles with the Zoom. And I play with that for a while, and everyone's just kind of a bit bemused. And then I start to say inappropriate things because I don't realize I'm being heard and I'm on camera. I think I'm on my own. So I start saying these things that are revealing what I really think about the conference. So I'm looking at the website and I'm quoting bits of copy from the website and sort of making fun of the seriousness of its intentions. And the idea, I guess, is sort of revealing the inner monologue where we maybe don't say the things that we're thinking. Well, with the clown, we hear everything. And then at some point I realize that they have been watching me and hearing me the whole time, and I'm mortally embarrassed. And then I try to get it back. So I try to say something sensible, but it all falls apart. And what I was trying to go for here is that through that embarrassment and failure, and then finally sort of acknowledging that, I actually build a connection, an intimacy with the people on the Zoom. Now, there were like 60 odd people. And what I was trying to do was create a feeling that for each one of them, that they were intimately connected with me, that there was this bond. So at some point, the talking just breaks down and I start to say the names of the people who are in the Zoom room and have these moments of just looking, this visual connection, a playful connection. And at one point I had everyone put something red on their nose so that they become clowns with me, whatever they had to hand. And we just played in a very, very simple way. So I kind of got everybody out of their conference serious heads and into this fun play space. And it was a playful space. We could describe this as play. But the thing that was also fun about it, and the distinction that I see here, is that it wasn't only play, it was the context of doing these sort of transgressive things in a serious environment that was kind of poking a little bit, making a little bit of a comment. As I mentioned earlier in that definition of fun as a verb, it was speaking or acting facetiously, joking, fooling, turning into or ridiculing, speaking playfully to something. That was fun for me. Doing a transgressive thing in a serious environment that was dealing with heavy, serious, important issues. And that's the sort of fun that I get from doing clowning, which I do whenever I can. Let me give you another example, this time not from the clown world, but still in the arts world. I was in an improv jam recently. Now, I didn't want to go to this improv jam, really, but somebody invited me, and I just felt obliged. Oh, I should go. I thought, it'll be good for me to get out of the house. I really just wanted to stay at home and catch up on work, to be honest. Because, well, I'm a little bit of a workaholic. But I thought this will be a healthy, good opportunity to get out and connect with people. And it was fun. I mean, the whole thing was fun, in a way. Playful, challenging at times. But there was this one moment that occurred that I think especially captures the type of fun that I'm talking about here. I was with these two other people in the space, playing, improvising, and somehow we got locked together physically, and we were sort of holding each other by the arms, and we became like a three-headed monster. We were right at the back of the space, and there were a lot of people watching us at the other end of the space. And And we just kind of felt into this moment of synchronicity and connection. We had no idea what we were going to do. We couldn't talk. And what came out of it was this sort of silly march thing across the space, with lifting our legs really high and holding them for a really long time, feeling the suspense, and then bringing them down, and then speeding up and slowing down, and making this kind of crazy noise as we did it. Keeping each other safe and secure, and kind of communicating through our bodies, and yet feeling moment to moment that we had no idea what was coming next. It was so fun. It was really fun. It was the most fun moment of the session for me. But then at the end, afterwards, one of the other two people who did that with me came up to me and said, he looked me in the eye and he said, "That was the most fun I think I've ever had." For me, it was the most fun moment of that improv, but maybe I'm used to that sort of thing happening in those kinds of contexts, so I almost expect it. But for him, it was this mind-blowing, epiphanic moment of fun. And you could see his world kind of opened up. And fun was actually the word he used. This was the most fun I've ever had. It was tremendously powerful for him in that moment, even if I don't know if it was really the most fun he'd ever had in his life, but it felt like it. And I realized, right, this is what we do in this kind of work. And it's more than just the type of escapist, diversionary fun. It's not that at all, in fact. It comes from confronting something that's difficult, and a moment of fun comes out of it. I think for me in that instance, what made that fun was the intense connection between the three of us, and at the same time, having no idea what we were going to do and figuring it out in the moment together, facing that fear and that challenge, but in a relatively safe environment. There was something so intense and beautiful, fun, edgy, exciting, dangerous, connected, alive. Here's one more example. Much more mundane, everyday type of thing, in a way. This happened to me this morning. I took a shower. Now, does that sound fun? Well, maybe not. But this shower was freezing cold. Sometimes I do that. Not every day, but today I did. I just decided to have a cold shower. And it was particularly cold because it's freezing outside, so all the water coming in was like frigid. I didn't realize how much fun it was going to be until I got out. I mean, when I was in it, it's kind of painful, it's like, I can't, how long can I stay in there? You're trying to control your breathing. I maybe managed to stay about 2 minutes. But it was when I got out, suddenly there was this laughter that unlocked in me, and I was hysterically laughing, probably for another 2 minutes. It brought out this kind of pure sense of joy, of silliness that just exploded. It was fun. It was a fun thing to do. It unlocked the fun in me. And somehow I chose to do that. And I wasn't thinking, oh, this will be fun. I was just thinking, well, what was I thinking? I was thinking I should do this. It will be good for me. Because I know that cold showers and cold plunges are actually really healthy for mental health as well as physical health. But it's hard. So I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But I didn't predict or expect that there was going to be that unlocking of joy. And it doesn't happen every time I take a shower. So there's 3 examples. Now, I don't want to be prescriptive. That's what's fun for me. What's fun for you? My suggestion is, why don't you make an inventory? I don't know how to say that word. I think it's because in the UK we say inventory. And in the States they say inventory. So I'm a little confused. Anyway, language can be fun. Maybe make an inventory or an inventory of the last week or the last day and what's been fun in your life in the last week or day. Notice what's fun for you. And again, I guess I'm not speaking of those obvious things, the diversionary activities, like watching a movie, things that society thinks of as fun. I'm thinking more of those moments that are a little more surprising, that come out of the blue. They're fun because they're different and they shake us up and let us see things from a different perspective. Or they release us from our locked, serious ways of being. So have fun with it. That's my challenge for you. And I want to just say something about this question of, is it possible to have more fun? To be intentional with fun? And yes, I think it is. Not because we necessarily know what's going to be fun before we do it. It's difficult to sort of plan it. In fact, planning it would perhaps be against the ethos of fun. But rather, how can we place ourselves in situations or do things where it's likely that fun will emerge? That's something I'm trying to do more of. Because I feel how healthy and good it is for me. That sense of surprising myself, for my brain, for my body, to have these spontaneous moments of fun. But to do so, I need to take certain risks and do things that aren't necessarily fun or don't seem like they're going to be pleasant. Like presenting at a conference doesn't seem like a fun thing to do. Seems like really hard work. And God, why did I agree to do that? Which is what I was thinking a lot of the time when I was planning it. But it produced this moment of fun. The same with the shower. And to some extent, the improv thing as well. It wasn't something that I was like, yeah, I want to do that. As I said, I really just wanted to stay at home and work, but I went. And I had this moment of fun. So how can we put ourselves in those contexts to have more fun? And maybe what we need to do is do difficult things sometimes. Say yes to things that appear to be challenging. Not just take the easy way out. Like a cold shower. Why would I choose to do that? But somehow fun emerges from those things, those experiences of challenge, of difficulty. And I don't know, maybe this is a theory, but maybe the more difficult, the more challenging, the more possible it is to have fun. Maybe fun is proportional to the difficulty of something, because we have to compensate for that difficulty by having fun. Our body just does it automatically to balance it out. Fun doesn't come by abandoning seriousness and trying to run in the opposite direction, thinking freedom is about running away or just doing fun things. I'm not interested in doing fun things. Well, I am. That's not true. I like those fun things too. I love going to see movies or going out for a meal or going to some water slide park with my kids in the summer. But I love the kind of fun that emerges spontaneously out of committing ourselves to things that we instinctively don't want to do or we feel have some possibility for doing good for us, but there's resistance there. I've often thought that resistance is an interesting indication of something that needs more exploration. Maybe it's in the seriousness that we find the fun. So that's the paradox I want to leave you with today, the serious note. I hope that's helpful for you. But hey, if it's not, just listen to the next episode. One thing that is always really fun for me is knowing that I have an audience to speak to. I know that somebody is out there listening. That means a lot to me, and it makes it much more fun.